The Minnesota Vikings have some contract extensions that they need to get done within the coming weeks and months. Those being Justin Jefferson and TJ Hockenson. Obviously, both of those are going to get locked up. We already know that. You're not going to get rid of the best receiver in the NFL, the top 5 tight end in the NFL. You're not going to do that. However, there's one contract extension that we've talked about briefly, and we finally have our owner, Mark Wilf, breaking his silence on the current situation, talking about the Kirk Cousins contract extension. We've heard some things in the past with, Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi and even Kirk. And Kirk himself has been stated as saying, look, we'll get to that when we get to it in March. Okay, so after the season, that's when we'll talk about contract extension. The rest of these guys basically saying the exact same thing and giving cliche answers, right? Like, oh, well, we'll just worry about it when the time comes. We're not too worried about it at this point in time. But he's a great guy. I love this guy. Like his leadership is next to none. I mean, he's awesome. So we'll see what happens down the line. But what exactly did Mark Wilf say, the owner of our Minnesota Vikings? Well, Heavy on Sports dove through this and kind of laid it out in a better way for you guys to kind of understand what exactly was said. Again, he really didn't say much, kind of the same stuff, but let's dive right into it. Now, team owner Mark Wilf faced the precise inquiry on Tuesday about Kirk Cousins' possible contract extension on August 8th. Now, his response was akin to the same move Vikings brass has made every time one of them has been faced with a question or decision on Cousins' contract to kick the can down the road. All right, this is what Mark Wilf said. He said, "We'll leave that to General Manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and Head Coach Kevin O'Connell to work through those discussions." Wilf responded to Kevin Seifert saying, "There's always conversations on that, but our real focus is 100% on 2023 and getting where we need to be and where I know we can be." So basically, stepping away from the question, saying, "Yeah, I'll let the GM and head coach handle that part of the team, but right now, hey, we're focused on 2023, and that's basically what everyone has said." The GM, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, said the exact same thing. Yeah, we'll focus on that when the time comes. Right now, all our energy is 100% on the season right at hand, the 2023 season. Head coach Kevin O'Connell said the exact same thing. We're focused on right now. We'll get to the contract when we get to the contract. Even Kirk Cousins has said that at least one time during one of his media days or media interviews, I guess you could say. But Wilf had made a few more comments regarding Cousins' future with the franchise that struck a familiar note. One echoed before in statements on the quarterback from Adofo-Mensah and Kevin O'Connell. This is what Wilf said. "Kirk's an outstanding leader. Okay, he's led this team incredibly these past few years, and we're looking for great things from him in 2023. Now, Kevin Seifert of ESPN pointed out that Wilf was careful not to project his thoughts into the future years, speaking instead in the sole context of the upcoming season. Both the Vikings GM and head coach have done the exact same thing in recent weeks. Okay, so look, the contract's going to get done when and if it needs to get handled, right? Cousins said March. Hey, we'll talk about the contract or possible contract extension in March when my contract, which he's in the final year of his contract, is over and done with. Then we'll kind of focus on that. But with the head coach, the GM, and the owner kind of taking that question and just throwing it in the garbage and giving your cliche answers, well, we're focused on this season. Look, you always got to be focused on the future of your franchise. I get it. This is a new season. We have to be focused on this season. Kevin O'Connell, I get more than the GM and more than the owner because the GM is the one, giving these contracts where the owner is the one paying these contracts. So you know that they're thinking about it at some point in time. Or maybe Kirk just told him, hey, look, we'll focus on that after the season. Right now, let's just kind of worry about ball. But at the same time, you're the owner. You're the GM. You want to know what's going to happen with your franchise in the future. So you have to be thinking long term. So it makes me wonder if this is a prove-it year for Kirk. And that's weird to say because I feel like Kirk's done just fine these past couple seasons. The comeback king last year led us to the NFC North Championship, okay? 13-4 season, early exit in the playoffs, we know. But I think he's been just fine. I don't necessarily think it's a prove-it year, but as a franchise, as a fan base, we all know that we're eagerly waiting for a franchise quarterback. You know, a Patrick Mahomes we're waiting for, a Joe Burrow, a Josh Allen. We're waiting for those types of players or type of quarterback to put us in that next level or get us to that next level, possibly contend for a Super Bowl. I'm not saying we can't contend with for a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins, but we want a little bit more excitement around that quarterback position. Kirk Cousins is fine for now. That's why we decided to keep him on the team. Now, next season, if we have a high enough draft pick, I hope not, unless we trade up, that'd be awesome, and we take a quarterback, then I think we all understand what our vision is for the Minnesota Vikings. However, if we have a late round draft pick and there's nobody available in free agency, nobody wants to come over to the Minnesota Vikings, Kirk's going to want a fully guaranteed contract. Do you give him 1 or do you give him a 2-year contract? I would have to give him a 2-year. If I'm his agent, I'd be like, he needs a 2-year contract. He's getting up there in age. Okay, we got to make some money. It's going to be fully guaranteed. And I wouldn't see why the Vikings wouldn't do that if nothing else is available. If we can't get anybody in free agency and stuff like that, then I could see us moving on from Kirk Cousins. But right now, as it currently stands, not only the head coach, the GM, but also the owner has basically said, look, we'll get to it when we get to it. Right now, we're focused 100% on the season at hand in 2023. So the Kirk Cousins contract extension might get done, but it also might not get done. You guys can let me know in the comments what you think about that. Do you want Kirk Cousins on here in the future as our franchise quarterback, or do you think we find something else down the road? Let me know in those comments. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It would be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of your day, folks, and Skol Vikes.